First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University, Hill gon' Hill, regardless, you, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of Three Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, Eighth Over Here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the Three Man Weave.
What up, what up, what up? It's your two favorite guys of the Three Man Weave podcast. I am your host, AJ. And you see me rep because and we making some things happen right now. But who I got with me?
You already know who it is, your boy Hill. Hill gonna hear regardless, baby. Let's get it. My Trojans won last night, so hopefully my Florida State guys, they win tonight for my guy AJ, man.
Boy, we need it.
Y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms, 3Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3Man Weave _ You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. And we save the best for last. But if you paid attention to how we were going, we moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, and we are finally finished. This is the last division for our NFL Divisional Preview, and it's the NFC West. So, yeah.
Yes, sure.
So, let's get right to it. Let's start it off with the last place team last year, Arizona Cardinals.
The Arizona Football Cardinals. They brought in. Can I just start with bringing in Maserati Marv? Like I got to start there. They brought in Maserati Marv, and then they brought, they lost Marquise Brown, they lost DJ Humphries, they lost Rondale Moore. They had a really great draft, but we'll get to it. They brought in Sean Murphy Bunting. They brought in Jonah Williams to play right tackle, which is weird because he told me he only wanted to play left tackle. And then they got Isaiah Adams, Trey Benson, Bilal Nichols, again, Marvin Harrison. They brought in Desmond Ridder to back up Kyler Murray, but that didn't go too well. And then a lot of people's draft darling, Darius Robinson. They brought him in too. So I think the Cardinals had a pretty solid offseason.
Who was what was the left tackle? The tackle they brought in last year was Paris Campbell?
Yeah, Paris Campbell.
Is he playing left tackle this year?
Yeah.
Okay, because they still had DJ Humphries last year, so it was like, okay.
Oh yeah, my fault. I didn't mean to just say it like that. That was a good question because
I did see that he was brought there to play right tackle, so it was like it was funny. Like all of a sudden, I got you. Your sarcasm and all that. So I get it.
Yeah, but yeah, Paris Johnson, he moving over to the left. Shout out to Cincinnati, even though he went to my rival high school, but he's still a Cincinnati kid, so I'm a rep for him.
Gotta ride. So what excites you for this team, man?
Okay, so I can't take the low hanging fruit because I've already taken.
No.
Oh, this is a new episode.
This is a
new episode. Hey, dog.
Yeah. See,
Kyler Murray to Marvin Harrison. Hey, that might be able to be something. I think this offense could really, really actually make some noise, man. Trey McBride, he was coming on, real late in the season once Kyler Murray got back. And then you got Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch in the slot, and Xavier Weaver from Colorado. He made this roster, so he could be a little sneaky receiving option too, man. So I think the offense that they have with these receiving weapons, and then along with what James Conner did last year, and then bringing a big back like Trey Benson, this could be this could be an exciting team to put up points. When we get to the hot take episode, I might have a little something for the guys.
Oh man, you're still mine.
My fault.
But I'm excited about this defense, to be quite honest. And be quite honest, I gave Jonathan Gannon a hard time when he was with Philly. I'm like, yo, he really not coordinating. Like, he has a whole bunch of players. Like, he's not doing nothing spectacular. Like, what is he doing? Like, he's not nothing to get excited for. Then you go to Arizona and like, okay, how many people can you name on that defense outside of Budda Baker?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he had that team scrappy as hell. You know what I'm saying? He had that team scrappy as hell, and you had to go in there and beat the Cardinals last year. Like I said, of course they didn't have the talent to, seal some of those victories, but there's a lot of teams that went in there and effed around and found out
exactly
that Cardinals was here to play. And like I said, my team was one of those ones that found out early in the season, and some teams found out late as well. It's like they doing something over there, both offensively and defensively. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You took the offensive route, and like I said, they win. They already have. They went got Sean Murphy Button. Hey, Max Melton.
Yeah, we liked him in the draft.
These is corners that is better than what they had beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Like Sean Murphy Button ain't all that, but I mean he was better than what they had. Surround them with these other players that they have around the defense. You know what I'm saying? It starts to settle the defense down. I'm starting to get it kind of excited. If I was in Arizona, they're a year away. They're a year away again.
Oh, for sure.
But the rebuild plan is definitely hitting its stride.
For sure. And I think that this is something that this team should definitely be excited for the future. And not extremely down the line future, but like these next couple of years, they could really start turning into something.
Yeah, for sure. They got some pieces now.
For sure.
Got some pieces to deal with. But what is your biggest concern? I'm not really going to be too concerned on a team that was last in the division that was trash pretty much. I mean, it was competitively trash. I'm not going to really be concerned because I do know that they're a rebuilding team. And they're on the cusp of finalizing some of this rebuild. You know what I'm saying?
For me, a concern, I'll kind of still take it to kind of what you were saying. A concern for me also could be this defense. Like, was it kind of just, like, because if you got Dennis Gardeck, not much else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, if you can't get this pass rush and stuff, it could really put a stressor on some of these other pieces that we do like, but it may not hit. And then last year might have kind of been a blip, and then it could look bad real quick.
Yeah, you can F around and find out again.
It could look bad real quick.
Oh yeah, we the Cardinals. But yeah, what does success look like? Success for me, for the Cardinals, is I'm gonna still stick with his defense. David Collins looking like he was supposed to look like his projection when he came out of college. You don't like that at all?
No, I do. But the reason why I was saying that is because it's like I don't know.
I know.
I don't know, but that would be something because they need somebody to kind of step up, and he might start rushing the passer a little bit more, and he might.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
because like I said, he started off as a tweener, and they tried to move him around. He was playing more linebacker and stuff. It's like okay, cool. Everybody can't tween.
Yeah, and a lot, and everybody can't coach tweens either.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, because sometimes, like when we talk about all of these, like, he's a chess piece, you can move him all around, he can do a little bit of everything. How many times have we seen coaches not be able to put these players in the position to be successful when they can do everything?
Absolutely.
I.e., another Arizona Cardinals, Isaiah Simmons. When he came out, it was like, that boy could play safety, he could play linebacker, he could play the edge. He couldn't play none of them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
So yeah, but that was success like for me though.
Success for me. What success looks like for me. I know that was tough, but this team to duplicate what the Seahawks did last season.
Last season or the year before?
Last season.
That's still success.
Because I mean, the Seahawks, they were what? They were 9-8. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you look, they look solid with Geno. The receiving weapons look good. They had issues on defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like that is that step because again, that shows like, oh, you can be in playoff contention, but you just need a little bit more on defense, and you probably could have went to the playoffs.
All right, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. Speaking of the Seahawks, right? Yep. Well, Seahawks. Let me go ahead and get it right. All right, the Hill is in the building.
Get this There you go. Sorry, guys. I'm watching the Florida State game.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they need to know that. And show us Chase.
Yep, he about to come down here and watch it in a second.
Okay, the Seahawks, man, they let go. You know, Jamal Adams, Jordan Brooks, Evan Brown, Devin Bush, Will Disley, Damian Lewis, Drew Lock, Kobe Parkinson, and Bobby Wagner. You know what I'm saying? A legend in Seahawks land. But they replaced him with Jerome Baker, Tyrell Dodson, Nick Harris, my guy from the draft, Christian Hayes. They went and traded for Sam Howell as a backup quarterback. They got Rayshawn Jenkins. They drafted Byron Murphy as well. And they also brought in guard Laken Thomason. You know, and how I feel about the offseason that they had, especially with a new coach, it was right on par. They brought in some of the pieces that, you know, that he can benefit from. And some of the things that the issues that they had last year, they started to erase was that in the draft by, like I said, by getting a Christian Hayes and then bringing in a Laken Thompson that, you know what I'm saying, is a veteran. So I do like the offseason that they had. My fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, of course, the big piece about getting that is getting a Mike McDonald. You know what I'm saying? Especially of what he did, and I'm going over time, but what he did with Baltimore, you think, okay, can he duplicate some of that success?
Right.
Yeah.
And so what excites me for this team is my fault.
Mm-hmm.
What excites me for this team, to be quite honest, is I want to see if Ryan Grubb, what his offense looks like, if this offense can actually take a step. It looked pretty good in preseason. And so that's a touchback. You better call it a touchback. But yeah, sorry. I want to see if this Ryan Grubb offense can continue to take a step, because that to me gives Mike McDonald some breathing room to kind of get this defense to where he wants it.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, that's what excites me, because you have the pieces. You brought it, like when we saw Charles Cross before he got hurt, it looked like, oh, okay, he's gonna be one of them ones. So if he comes back, he can, get back to form. I think this offense can, be extremely balanced and, really also create some big plays with the weapons that they have.
So glad that you said that. You know what I'm saying? So glad that you said that. But what excites me, Mike McDonald getting his hand on this defense, man.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically Devin Witherspoon. Like, the flash that he showed that, like I said, he can easily become a top 5 corner. He can solidify himself with a great season this year as a top 5 corner this year. Basically, if the defense does what it's supposed to do, it's gonna be because of him.
Absolutely.
Like I said, his pass rush is still, all right. But I mean, hell, we said that about the Ravens, and what was they doing? Triple crown. the thing that and this is not gonna be my concern, but the thing that give me a little bit of pushback, it did take a little bit of time for the defense to start clicking in Baltimore when he got there. When he took over for Wink, it wasn't a seamless transition.
Right, and that's actually what was going to be my biggest concern.
Well, let's get to it.
My biggest concern is because of the lack of pass rushers, the time that it will take for him to be able to do some of those creative things in the secondary and the communication that is going to be necessary. If it doesn't click right away, this can look a lot worse before it looks good. You get what I'm saying? So they could actually look like a worse defense before it actually starts getting good, because you might see some blown coverages, long, big explosive play touchdowns and stuff like that. And people are going to be like, oh, this isn't the defense that we saw when we were when you were just the defensive coordinator. And like you said, I think it's going to take some time, because again, when he gets it right, this is one of the hardest defenses to figure out in the NFL. And it's just going to take some time. You don't get that by just running some very simple stuff. There's going to be complexities that must be learned and taken over. So again, that's why it's a concern, because it could look really, really bad and cost them some games early on and have people really, question, is he the guy?
It's the same thing for me though. When you said, when you brought up the offense, and I have the concerns about Geno Smith specifically. That one season that he had, they wrote me off and I ain't right back that season. That was the best season of his career.
And they ain't writing you no more, dog.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you ain't duplicate that since. And I get it. Last year, the offensive line was definitely a disaster, and it affected your play. Of course, it's going to affect any quarterback's play. So I'm not minimizing that. But to say that a year older quarterback is just but all of a sudden just duplicate the success that he had, like we're hanging on to that season that he had, like he done that before. Right. Like he does that, like that's him. That's what he does. Like he's never done that ever in life.
Exactly.
His whole career. That's a blip. That's an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? Until we see it again and again, then we can figure out if it be consistent. So it's easy to say, oh, you got an offensive coordinator that fits your skill set, and he does. Yeah, you got these weapons that you can that he can just throw to, and he does. And you got these running backs that he can just hand the ball off to, and he does. Can this offensive line get back to the year, get back to the form that they were when he had that good year? That's yet to be determined, because that's 1 year for them too.
Exactly.
And like I said, I like Christian Hayes. You're a rookie. Like Thomason ain't that good, but he's a solid.
He's only been good under Shanahan.
So, and like I said, that's a key factor. So to sit here and just to act like okay, yeah, it was just the offensive line, and just Geno is just gonna be the man. It's like, okay, we are still talking about Geno Smith until he shows us again. He's still Geno Smith.
Yeah. Because Geno Smith, who had a good year.
Because that season that they had, that everybody wanted to hype up, was the same typical season that the Seahawks been having ever since they won. Since their last championship. Start off hot, get cold, boom, you figure it out, get in the playoffs, boom, you lose. That's exactly what they did. Mm-hmm. But we hyped it up because all of a sudden everybody was on that hate Russ trade. So they propelled Geno on a whole nother level that he ain't never been at.
Exactly.
And then we don't know if he's going to be there again. So that's my concern. And then on top of that, Sam Howell? All right.
You know they're gonna start calling for him.
Not the way he looked in preseason.
I know, but
not the way he looked in preseason. If he'd looked good in preseason, I get it. I subscribe to that theory too.
They called for Derek Anderson. Was it Derek Anderson or Matt Moore behind Cam Newton?
Both of them.
Exactly. So that just because he looked bad in preseason, it do not mean nothing. What does success look like? success looks like having a top half defense. I'm not saying you have to have a top 10 defense, but to me, the reason why I say top half is because I think it's going to be some really low lows and you're going to
Yeah.
have some highs. And so you want to kind of balance it out come end of the year where it's like, okay, we had some hiccups, but it leveled out. And again, that to me, I think that will keep them in that playoff conversation.
It's weird because I do understand that he is a first year head coach and you're not supposed to have such high expectations for first year head coaches. You know what I'm saying? But this team wasn't empty of talent. This team needed a new voice. This team needed they needed your voice. They needed a youthful creative voice. So for me, for the Seahawks, what success look like? Winning the division.
Okay.
And I might have should have saved it for my high take based off your reaction. But but I don't because I don't have them winning the division. But that's what success is going to look like, bro. Like you're going to have to.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be necessary to kind of like, because you're not necessarily in that position to be like we're in a rebuilding phase in a sense.
Yeah.
You like they brought you in to be that fixer. You know what I mean? Like they brought you in to be that fixer where it's like, hey, come on, fix the defense. You fix the defense. This is a good team. So that's what it's going to be.
That's all. That's all. Like you said, they brought you in for a reason. Like they didn't hire you to the worst team in the league. Like
exactly. All right.
Like they really fired a Hall of Fame coach and said, we need you to upgrade him. If we want to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. The Rams offseason. Get that clock ready.
Yeah, because clock is ready. It's going. Go ahead.
All right. So the Los Angeles Rams, they lost Aaron Donald to retirement. I mean, they lost Jordan Fuller, but they brought in Cam Curl. They brought in Jonah Jackson. They brought in Kobe Parkinson. They brought in Darius Williams and Tre'Davious Wright. They drafted, our guys, Jared Verse and Braden Fisk. And then they also got Blake Corum as well. So to me, I think the Rams really had a solid offense as far as drafting and some of the free agents that they brought in. Time it.
Oh man, good job. You know what's crazy? I was probably save it for my concern, but they definitely had an amazing offseason. They built off the momentum that they had. It felt good in LA. It felt good. You know what I'm saying? But let's get to it, man. What excites you for this team?
What excites me for this team is, as crazy as it sounds, this defense. There's some young pieces on this defense that I'm excited to see and how they can kind of do things without Aaron Donald. And so I think that you lose a giant piece that was the center of your defense that allowed you to kind of do everything around them. But with some of these young pieces, will it allow you to kind of look a little bit different, but create some of the same issues that you've created for some of these for some teams with that humongous all-time great in the middle?
What excites me for this team is them doubling down on the success that they had last year offensively, changing their stripes, and specifically in the running game. Like Kyron Williams, like you say, more so they start doing more gap scheme, more dual blocks, more combination blocks, more power running scheme, more so than a finesse of a zone running scheme that McVay was accustomed to doing.
Right.
So you do that with a Kyron Williams and, like I said, with the way he took the lead by storm. You add a Blake Corum to that backfield as well. I believe this running game could go even better. I think the disrespect of I think Cooper Kupp is starting to get disrespected as far as at first he was overrated. Then he was getting his respect, and now I believe now he's starting to get a little disrespected because of the emergence of Puka. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe that the changes that they made on offense last year, they can actually double down. And I'm excited about that. I think they can upgrade about it. I think the league is not really ready for the changes that McVay has been doing on offense.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm gonna go at the same time though. The injuries that they had. I remember a few years back, you was very concerned about the offensive line. You was like, yo, this offensive line is definitely not good. And you were just very adamant about it not being good. Okay,
Right.
they brought in Jonah Jackson, hurt. Everybody else that they got already hurt. My logic, bro, if you start season hurt, you in for a long season, bro. Because like I said, you don't get healthy during the season, you get worse. So they already dealing with injuries at the offensive line, and like I said, my team had joint practices with the Rams, and they definitely took advantage of that. So that, like I said, once again, that's practice, preseason. Things could change. You know what I'm saying? But this offensive line, the injuries that they're already suffering. Matt Stafford has definitely already has an injury history. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to survive this bad offensive line if they're going to be bad because of the injury. And then, like I said, everybody else is a trickle down effect. Puka's already hurt. Cooper Kupp has an injury history. Kyron Williams got hurt last year. You know what I'm saying? Blake Corum got hurt in college. So it's like y'all dealing with a lot of injury history people. You know what I'm saying? The positivity ain't really on your side.
Exactly. So that's really what it comes down to. But to me is, did I do my biggest concern?
No.
Okay. So
I thought you were setting it up.
Yeah. No, I was about to. So again, the same thing that excites me is a concern, because if this defensive front can't be, what we think it is coming in, because one thing that we have learned, playing defensive line can take time.
Mm-hmm.
I like Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk and Jared Verse. Those are, high motor, really, good pieces. But if it takes them time to hit the ground running, it could just really kind of like cripple this defense as a trickle down effect, because again, you don't have Aaron Donald. You don't have that guy that has to be, double and triple teamed. And so it just makes life easier for any team that you're playing. And with that offensive line that we just talked about, and those injuries, again, boom. Now can you really, lean on the run like McVay really likes to do?
I get it. I thought you would have went the secondary. Like
I was going to go the secondary, but to me, if the front can't do anything, this secondary is cooked. That's why I say that's a really big concern for me, because then it's just all like it's bad on every level.
Yeah, because I think
because that's where like they need this defensive front to be good, and if it's not,
yeah,
it's downhill.
And that was the funny. It goes on the flip side of what Raheem Morris said in Atlanta. He was like, "Yo, I did this with a lot of no names on defense last year, but he failed to realize that. I mean, failed to mention that I still had Aaron Donald.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. Like the spine of this defense is bad, not bad now, but like you traded Ernest Jones. Okay, maybe he got beat out by one of these no-name linebackers that we don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? But these corners, bruh, like you said. So I do get it. Like you said, if this D line ain't the best or ain't good, then everybody's gonna look bad. Like it's gonna look ass. Bad. So yeah, I get it. What does success look like? For me, it's simple. It's the same as last year. But it's weird, and I know it sounds like cliche or low hanging fruit, but they snuck up on people last year. People didn't expect the Rams to be good last year, and they made the playoffs and went down to the wire in a wild card game. Like they very easily could have won that game if the ball bounces in a different way.
Yeah.
So that's sneaking up on people. Now you're not sneaking up on nobody this year. Everybody expects you to do this again. So if you can do that again, that's successful.
For me, I'm going to take it a step further. Success is being the king of this division. Take the crown, win the division.
Why are we so spicy on the NFC West? Oh, it's the last one. That's
but seriously, because
I did this with the Seahawks.
Right.
So I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, but my thing is win this division because it's a lot going on in San Francisco, and we gonna get to it when it comes to my concerns. Win this division, yo, because your time with Matthew Stafford is coming to an end. So you have to win with the window that you have, it's time to get it done.
Yeah, man. I agree. So let's go ahead and get ready. Let's go to the Bay. San Francisco. I got to do them, right?
Yeah.
Let me get professional. All righty. The San Francisco 49ers. They lost Sam Clelin Ferrell, Randy Gregory, Javon Kinlaw, Ray McLeod, and Chase Young. Those are the subtractions, the additions. Eric Armstead as well. They traded him away. Yeah, that's a big subtraction. They got Malik Collins to replace him. They got Devontae Campbell to replace what's the linebacker name that I can't remember right now. They got the towards Achilles. They did Dre Greenlaw. Joshua Dobbs would be a good backup. Leonard Floyd. Yotas Gross Matos. And then they drafted Ricky Pearsall, and the offseason that they had, it made sense. Once again, Armstead, I think, wanted another contract, and they were like, you know what, we're not doing that. So, they got rid of him, but then they immediately did in 49ers fashion. They went and got him Malik Collins. Before we move on any further, I want to wish a speedy recovery for Ricky Pearsall.
Absolutely.
Unfortunate situation that he was put in. So I definitely want him to, get right, get ready, just speedy recovery, get your health right. Come on, man. It looks gangster, now that we know the end result. I'm saying? The dude tried to get your Rolex, you Russell tussle with him, and you kept your Rolex.
And you shot him too. With his gun.
Yeah, with his gun. So you did your thing in hindsight. Let's not put ourselves in that situation again.
Give it up, dog.
Just give it up, dog. It's a Rolex, bro.
Get insurance. Get insurance on your jewelry, man. Give it up, and alert the authorities because you could have lost a lot more.
Yeah, exactly, man. But like I said, we're glad you're safe. We're glad you're good. Hopefully, this 17-year-old gets charged as an adult. Get him up out of here, and say speedy recovery, Ricky. Speedy recovery, dog. Get well soon. But yeah, that was the off season, man. That was all season recap. They definitely did some things, man. As usual. As usual for a team, they finally got the IU contract finished.
Yeah, they got it done.
And that was a good thing. That was a black cloud. That was one of the black clouds that's hanging over the franchise. They got that up out the way, so that's good, man. But what excites you? What can possibly excite you for this team?
The status quo. The status quo, but you got to get over the hump. But we're gonna get to that in a second. But maintaining the status quo, like you got to do that. You got to continue to do what you do. Like there's only one thing missing from what y'all have been doing, and that's it. To see if you can keep that up.
And it's similar to what I said about the Rams about their success. Can you continue your success? Your success. If you continue the status quo, like God damn, that like at some point you're gonna get over the hump. Like you know what I'm saying. You should feel that way. So, but it's not as easy as said. What excites me for this team, God. I'm gonna say it. Another year, Purdy.
Yeah.
In this offense, the command that he took. You got to remember, this was one full season this year.
Yeah.
Last year, and what did he do? Like he looked amazing in that offense. So it's some things that he did in structure. Of course, some layups that Kyle drew up for him. But it was also a lot of plays that he made out of structure. It was like, okay, some of these other quarterbacks ain't never done this, bro. Like, we got to give it up to him.
Exactly, 100%.
However you feel. So, another year in this offense, another year commanding, certain things, taking onus of this offense. He can only get better. And if that's the status quo, once again, if that's the status quo, if he duplicating what he did again, all right. We're looking at another 60. We're looking at a $60 million quarterback next offseason.
For sure. What concerns me about this team is this ain't the defense that we used to.
It ain't what you're used to.
Like, we've seen them run out pass rusher after pass rusher after pass rusher. You had a high upside player like Chase Young being your, third pass rusher, fourth pass rusher, stuff like that. This ain't that. Your interior, it ain't that. Eric Armstead is gone. Mm-hmm. So if this can't be the 49ers defense that we used to, is Fred Warner going to be able to run wild and be a madman back there? Is Talanoa Hufanga going to come back and be, that, like, wait, is that Palomalu? Is he going to be able to kind of be that? You know what I'm saying? So I want to see kind of what they're able to do, because if Devondre Campbell can't come in and do some Dre Greenlaw things, and you just out here running with Javon Hargrave and Nick Bosa, for a lot of teams, we got Nick Bosa and Javon Hargrave, and Leonard Floyd, the ghost of Leonard Floyd, that'll be a lot. But I don't know if that's going to be enough for what this team's expectations are.
My biggest concern, Trent Williams ain't here. We already know this offensive line is already Trent Williams. I'm Trent Williams, and these are the temptations. Like, yeah, we know this. They know this. Everybody knows this. He's not here. Even if they get a deal done tomorrow, when we post this, it will not matter for week one. This is they are the poster child of doing holdouts, with how holdouts can be done wrong.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa held out for a long time for his contract. And if you listen to 49ers fans, they were frustrated with Nick Bosa last year. He not getting the sacks that we accustomed to. He ain't doing this. He got to play his way into shape and all that. Which I tried to warn him about these holdouts. He been holding in, but you ain't been participating. You just been there. Mm-hmm. You just been there. You just got your deal. We all know, like I said, it's the same concerns that you would have about a CD, the same concerns you would have about a Chase. It's the same concerns about you always have about a holdout. Is these soft tissue injuries, or you not being yourself. Yeah. Hell, Debo held out for his contract, and what happened? He said it himself. He like, the contract was in the back of my mind the entire time. It affected my season. We seen it with Debo. We seen it with Nick Bosa. You mean to tell me that Brandon Ayuk he's just an anomaly? He's just gonna break the cycle? Okay, cool.
And this is why I said, for the Rams, go win the division. This ain't the 49ers that we've been used to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot because again, if it's gonna take a while for Trent Williams to get there, to get right, hey dog, it ain't much else there. And and then so you were able to kind of do certain things with Trent Williams because then you can kind of mask the other guys and put things together. But without,
You can't match everybody. But
it's about to be a long season.
And like how you were saying, go win the division. Rams. Don't get it wrong. The 49ers can very well win this division. They should win this division. But this ain't just gonna be your cakewalk, or this ain't gonna be just go ahead and write them down in ink that the 49ers got the division.
Exactly.
Like I said, the Cardinals are better. Like they're tougher. Seahawks are tougher. The Rams should be tough. They always struggle with the Rams anyway. So that's definitely concerning on this team. Like I say, as far as like you say, no Trent, Brandon Ayuk, hold out. You already said your concerns about the defense. The team can be had,
Yeah,
but you gotta get them.
exactly.
You got to catch them while they're vulnerable, and don't wait till they figure it out.
Yeah, because then it's too late. You don't want them to get too far ahead.
But they can easily, like I said, if they go out there and win the division, they still can go out there and be the number one seed in the NFC. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, I wouldn't.
For sure.
Because some of these stuff should affect other teams. This should be detrimental.
It's something that they might be the one team that could play through it.
Yeah.
So
this got to be the low hanging fruit, bro.
Yep, it is.
It's Super Bowl or bust.
Absolutely.
It's nothing to talk about. It's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah,
it's Super Bowl or bust for this
that's
team.
it. It's the only. It's quite frankly the only legitimate option. You have to win a Super Bowl, or like, what are you doing?
That's so, it. Yeah. Okay. There's nothing even further, no details or nothing. And I'm pretty sure that 49ers fans should feel the same way. I think we might not get any pushback this week.
Finally.
Hey man, y'all know y'all catch us all major podcast platforms. 3Man Weave, Instagram to the 3Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. I'm here. That's AJ, y'all the fourth. And we are.
See you guys later.